You cannot completely avoid self-learning if you want to be self-made billionaire. As a matter of fact, all the self-made billionaires are actually self-learned. In your learning process persona, you don't wait for instructions, you don't wait for people to teach you what to do. You just begin to make research on any area that interests you and begin to get better on that area as much as you can until you become an expert. You need to have a vision, your destination, where you are going. Okay? Without it, you will not be very okay with personal learning, self-learning, because whatever you are self-learning for is preparing yourself for that future you are seeing. So you need to learn to see with your mind, not with your eyes. For that is the only way you can see into the future. Self-learning, self-control, self-determination, self-discipline. It has to be self because you are taking it very personal. It's not like somebody's opinion or advice or instruction. Even when somebody advises you, you might want to go down to sieve it. You might want to really go down to analyze, understand, and act based on your understanding, right? If you want to become a billionaire, you must think about self-learning. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kabir A. Abdulkadir. In case you are watching me for the first time, consider following, subscribing, and as much as possible, comment if you like my videos. So I always come out here to talk about how to become a billionaire because that's the journey I'm in, and I like to take a lot of people alongside with me. For me, I don't want to get there and then now start thinking about how to bring others there. I want a lot of people to travel with me so that we can get there together. And that way, I believe I'm going to have a beautiful time together with billionaires where a lot of us came together. We know how the journey was. It's not as if I got there then tried to bring others. For a lot of billionaires that I've noticed, it is after years of their life, perhaps at 70s, at 50s, 80s, that's when they think about starting to bring down their rope for others to climb. And of course, they don't have much time to stay on earth as at that time. For me, since I noticed this trend, I have decided personally, okay, for me, I'm going to be teaching people right from now. So we build this billionaire journey. We are going to take this billionaire journey together. Today, guess what we are talking about? We are talking about self-learning. Repeat after me, self-learning. That thing is powerful. It's one of the things that every billionaire have, especially at all levels. But if you are beginning the journey, right? Of course, I know I'm talking to a lot of beginners for now. In the future, I'm going to be talking to a lot of people who are already far from the journey. And then in the highest of time, maybe the highest peak picture, the way I'm seeing it right from now, I'm going to be talking to a lot of billionaires. Like I'm going to be addressing billionaires. So I'm no longer going to be addressing starters with time. So if you happen to be listening to me right now, you are opportunity to be listening to billionaire in the making. That's funny, right? Okay, let's go back to the lesson. The message is, listen carefully. Self-learning is very important. I want to get serious right now. And I want to give you some of the tips on how I was able to do it and how I'm still doing it. You can't remove self-learning from the equation if you want to be a self-made billionaire. I should repeat this again. You cannot completely avoid self-learning if you want to be self-made billionaire. As a matter of fact, all the self-made billionaires are actually self-learned. A lot of people might not understand what we mean by self-learning. Like taking your learning process persona, you don't wait for instructions, you don't wait for people to teach you what to do. You just begin to make research on any area that interests you and begin to get better on that area as much as you can until you become an expert. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Like I said, these are some of the secrets. For a lot of people don't know it, or perhaps you are playing with it. I was a lecturer in the past. I was a teacher in the classroom even before becoming a lecturer. And from what I noticed, first thing first, you need to understand that you need to have a vision, your destination, where you are going. Okay? Without it, you will not be very okay with personal learning, self-learning, because whatever you are self-learning for is preparing yourself for that future you are seeing. Okay? So you need to learn to see with your mind, not with your eyes. for that is the only way you can see into the future. So for me, while I was a teacher in the classroom, I really understood that, look, I love teaching, but I need to be a billionaire teacher. And that's who I'm becoming right now. So if you listen to me every day when I come here, you see that what I mention is how to become a billionaire. This is what I want to to be known for. Anybody should be calling me maybe that billionaire teacher. Well, I don't want to be addressed as teacher, just a billionaire in the making. Of course, I'm going to become one. Because like I said, I already figured out all the formulas just for me to implement, which is part of what I'm doing today. So like I said, I want to give you some tips on how it's working for me if you want to self-learn yourself. Understand that from the beginning, there are three to four building blocks that you need. One of it is self-learning, which I'm addressing today, but I'm going to add 2 or 3 more. Self-learning, self-control, self-determination, self-discipline. Self-control and self-discipline are close. These are 4, right? Okay, but in the wealth creation journey, you cannot ignore any of this. Self-control, self-determination, self-learning, and then self-commitment. In fact, anything self, just put it and mention it. It matters a lot. But what it means is that it has to be self because you are taking it very personal. It's not like somebody's opinion or advice or instruction. Even when somebody advises you, you might want to go down to sieve it. You might want to really go down to analyze, understand, and act based on your understanding, right? You don't just, at that level, if you are self-learning, at that level, you are not just a follower. You now become a student. A student in the sense that whatever you are learning, you are intentional about learning it, and as much as you are applying it on a daily basis to be able to see results. And that's what makes it powerful. So, but you need to understand this basics that, look, if you want to really grow yourself to become self-control, to become self-learned, to grow in wealth, you need to really understand a lot of things about your own personality, your weaknesses. In fact, take the SWOT analysis of yourself. By SWOT, I mean that your strengths, the threats, the opportunities that you have as a personality, and then your weaknesses, like that, and then the threats, right? SWOT means the S is what? Sorry, I've forgotten. But by SWOT means S is your strength, W is your weaknesses, O is your opportunities, and then T are the threats. So look at yourself generally. What is it that is interesting about you that could serve as a strength? Okay, maybe you are resilient, maybe you pay attention to details, maybe you are hardworking, maybe you are committed. These are strengths, okay? And this is actually part of what you could use as a starter pack to taking yourself to that journey. The journey of self-learning. So by W, what are your weaknesses? Wetin be those things where you dey procrastinate, or you too dey spend money anyhow, or you like women too much, or you are always distracted. All these are weaknesses, and this thing could pull you down, right? Okay, so now when we talk about opportunities, so around you, looking at the strength you have, what opportunities does it present to you? Right now, if you are working with others, look in between. What are the opportunities right there for you, right? Whatever you are around, the people you are around, the activities you are around, the jobs you are doing, the business you are into right now, what actually serves as an opportunity? The country you are in, there are a lot of opportunities around, but only that you are not learned. That's why you are not seeing them. So whatever, I think threats too are what could actually be like a threat to you. I wouldn't know any example I want to mention for you, but something that could actually threaten your ability to be able to go to where you want to go to. But in all, if you are self-learning, take for example what I'm doing right now. What I have before me is a book. This is 48 Laws of Power. I've been reading it. I'm supposed to have finished this book today, but guess what? I'm still at law 38 out of 48. That's about 10 more to go. I'm supposed to finish this book before this month, and this is 28th of February as at the time of making this video. But notwithstanding, I'm going to add up another book just that the book is complicated and you need to study it very well. But I've picked so many ideas from this book, so powerful, right? So what I'm saying in essence is that if you want to self-learn, you might need to dedicate more of your time to talking to books, picking YouTube videos related to the topic you want to master yourself on. But before you do that, if you want to be good at self-learning, please consider choosing a skill first, understanding why you need to learn that skill. Take for example, if you are passionate about video making or editing or all of that, that's photography or whatever it is, content creation or whatever it is, then you want to develop yourself further, or maybe graphic design, whatever it is, be very, very specific. Affiliate marketing, you want to go into e-commerce, copywriting, digital marketing, real estate, whatever it is, but you need to sit down and really discuss with yourself what you want to do or what you want to self-learn yourself on. So once you have discovered this, that's the most difficult aspect of it. But now the rest is we begin to gather materials. And that's why we call it self-learning. Nobody will like, okay, lecturers do in the school. They need to give you handouts. They need to, and that's why a lot of people actually go to school, but they are not actually successful because they are not in charge of their learning. Their learning is actually authored by another person. But by the time you choose what you want to do in life, especially after school, and you now author your learning process, meaning that you are in charge. You choose what you want to learn. You know the reason why you want to learn it. And by the end of the day, take for example, there's a reason why I want to learn this book. I want to learn from this book, right? I've heard so many things about what is happening with power, how people behave. Like our politicians now, especially in Africa, I see their tactics and how they are doing so many things. Sometimes it confuses me. Literally, why should people behave like that? What's the psychology behind it? And that's what prompted me to read this book. Guess what? I found out most of the reason why people lead the way they lead and why masses keep behaving the way they keep behaving. And why should somebody not want to remain like masses and push to be a leader? And even when you want to be a leader, how do you become the best leader? Like the author said that it's either you want to learn to become a leader, that's one, by reading the book, or you want to observe how leadership works, that's number two, and number three, or you want to actually protect yourself from the wrath of leadership. So for me now, if I see leaders doing some certain things, I already understand why they are doing those things. And of course, in a lot of ways, I've learned how to protect myself from being harmed by leadership, by leaders generally. At times, it's very complicated. You might not be able to always protect yourself, but I tell you, if you know how to figure out very well, if not now, in the future, you should be able to completely protect yourself from bad leadership or bad governance or bad whatever, even the organization you work. There's always a way out if you are learning. And that's why self-learning is very important. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me finalize by telling you that one of my basic tricks is you need to be very specific. Even in your field, take for example, I'm talking about business now, or I'm talking about marketing precisely, and I want to further learn more on how to do it. Then when we talk about marketing, there are so many things. You can have sales under marketing, you can have closing under marketing, you can have negotiation under marketing, you can have a lot under marketing. So what I do for me, if I want to talk about negotiation today, I might decide to pick up like 5 books that talks about, if under marketing I'm looking at negotiation, I might decide to pick 5 books that teach about negotiation from different authors, from different countries or background. Okay, then I began to read and filter their ideas, see what works for where I am or the kind of product I sell, and then I make use of the idea. Right? It is one thing to learn, and that's why I say a lot of people read, but only few people really understand what they read or be able to implement it. So as much as I read, even this book, like I keep telling you, I have implemented a lot of ideas from it already that is already producing results for me. If you read book from the beginning to the end and you cannot figure out one idea that you can implement that you see result, please stop reading. You are not actually reading. You are reading newspaper, and you should better go and pick up newspapers and begin to read them. Otherwise, you are not actually reading books. Now, not only books, I don't stop there. I begin to look at YouTube videos. I can type negotiation, best negotiation skills. I keep changing the words. I can type so many things related to negotiation, and then millions and billions of videos comes out for me to watch. I pick the people that resonate with me. Then maybe depends how long the videos are, or even podcasts, right? From different authors, from different business owners that are already in that industry where I'm interested in. So I pick their videos and I begin to watch to see how they are doing it. I simply just do what they said they did. Are you listening? Success leaves clues, and as much as you can copy it and do it, replicate it, the same way they have results is the same way you're going to have it. There's no magic around it. So take your time and keep watching these things and be consistent, and don't give up. Don't get tired. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. If it means doing it 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, you might just need to keep implementing it, provided you know it's the right strategy, it's the right formula, and the person has done it and is successful. Now, the last recommendation is to get people like us who are already doing well in our field of whatever we are doing. I'm into e-commerce. In case you are interested in getting in touch, I can teach you from A to Z how to sell physical product online. That's what I've been doing since I left for my lecturing job. And amazingly, instead of me to be paid 130 something thousand as I was paid back then working as a lecturer in the university, I now employ people that I even pay above that amount, and not just one person, multiple people. So to show you that I am good in what I do, even though we are still improving and we learn every day. What I'm telling you in essence is that get people in the field. The first time I've been thinking about e-commerce, I actually thought about leaders who are already doing well in that, especially leaders that I cannot even afford to meet at that level, even as right now. People like Alibaba, people like Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Now we have top leaders here, right, that are also guiding us in our country, Nigeria. So at all levels, wherever you are, start from there. If you cannot afford to pay people, go and pick videos to watch. But there are people that even organize some free webinars right now, and they'll just keep telling you about these things for free. We have millions of videos on the internet to teach you. Even if it's cooking, there's nothing. You have more than enough videos to teach you. And that's what self-learning does. And now you become more powerful because you structure your learning, you design your curriculum, and you pick what you want to pick. You examine yourself. You think about what gives you results. It's amazing, guys. If you are learning, please type on the comment section whatever you have picked from this conversation. I hope you learn. For me, self-learning is one of the best things that have ever happened to me, and that's what keeps giving me confidence that I'm going to become a billionaire. Because guess what? The more I learn, the more the figures are multiplying already. And what I know is just a matter of time. The $1 billion are going to appear. Thank you so much for watching. In case you enjoyed this video, like I said, please share with others as much as comment, please. Okay, we are building this community, and one of my first projects is to raise at least 1 million entrepreneurs with net worth of $1 million each. Thank you so much. My name, once again, in case you are forgetting, is Kabir A. Abdulkadir. I am the world's most influential entrepreneur and business coach from Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.